welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Mind of James. This week, we have our first returning guest on the podcast, Mr. Joe Buck. This guy, like I've said it before, we met on Instagram, and went on his podcast. He came on mine. We just keep in contact. We check in on each other every once in a while, and yeah, really good dude, really good dude, and I so happy to have him back on the episode, have him back on the podcast. We get into some good stories, and we just sit there and shoot the shit, for the lack of better terms. Um, but I want to thank you for joining me for another episode. So let's get right into it. And there you go. But yeah, I used to smoke cigarettes when I was in high school before I turned 18. And then I smoked until about I want to say like late 20s, early 30s. Went into vaping, and now I'm just on nicotine pouches. So living life on them.
Hell yeah. I don't know. I used to vape, but it was never for the caffeine. I
Yeah.
would just do like the syrups basically.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. For the
yeah,
nicotine,
then
for
I heard that was like super bad for you, so I stopped doing that.
like the nicotine vapes.
No, the regular one, the non-nicotine ones, I guess they were.
Oh, everybody says there's like popcorn lung and all this shit, but like, if okay, so with the popcorn lung, I these kids are out of control with this stuff. They're smoking like four of these pods a day when one pod is supposed to last you a week. So yeah, you're gonna get something. Like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, see, like I have enough vices in life, so I'm just
Yeah,
like, you know what? If I can cut one of them out, then I'll do it.
yeah.
It's like even like when I was in college, smoking hookah was super popular. So we'd go to the hookah bar every weekend, and it got to the point where everyone would stop, and then I would be the only one smoking it because I'm like, I'm gonna get my fucking money's worth. And
Yeah.
then
Fuck yeah. I'm paying $20 to smoke that. Yeah.
yeah, and then I would
Give me
just end
four of
up,
those things.
bro. I'd end up smoking to the point where like I would have the spins, and then I'd have to throw up, and I'm like, I feel terrible. And then recently I was reading this report, and they were saying like the amount of smoke you inhale from a hookah is like four times worse for you than like cigar smoke. Which at this point, it's like everything's gonna kill you. So fuck it. You might as well have
Diet
a little bit.
Diet Coke in a styrofoam cup's gonna kill you too. Like like enjoy what you got.
Yeah,
But
I
how you
mean,
been, man? It's been a minute since we actually sat down and talked.
dude. No
What's new?
complaints. Let's see. Finished this semester. Um,
Nice.
I made the dean's honor list last semester. This semester, I made the president's honor list, which is like the highest accolade you can get.
Congratulations, sir.
Appreciate that.
Nice.
I'm now a part of trying to see how I can word this. I'm a part of an emergency response group.
Okay.
It's made up of different municipalities, but we uh, address everything from like active shooter situations to natural disasters to highway shutdowns, kind of everything in between.
Okay.
So it's been interesting doing all the training for that because
So when you say municipalities, is that how you said it?
yeah,
What does that mean? Like different parts of the state?
So it's like the state, the county, all the towns within the county, and then if it's large enough to go from there, then any other organizations that would need to be involved. So like the U.S. Forest Service, FEMA, uh,
Okay.
State Patrol, anything like that.
Okay. So what'd you get into? So how did you get into that? Like, yeah.
The best way most people get into things, I was volunteered by
Nice.
I was volunteered by someone higher up in the organization that I work for, and they were like, "Hey, I didn't even know. I just got a response email saying, "Hey, these are the names," and then like an hour later, I got an email from this person being like, "Hey, if you're getting this email, you've been chosen to be a part of this organization. We feel that you'd be like a great asset, and you we feel as though you embody everything that we as an organization bring to the table. So you and these other people will be representing us, to fill certain positions."
Nice. Nice. So like, if I got that email, it'd be like, can I just hold that road sign that says slow and stop? Like,
Dude,
I
I'm
didn't
just
even
like,
I didn't even sign up for this.
yeah, I'm like, it was kind of funny because during training, the guy who runs the trainings was like, "Hey, you're probably wondering how you ended up here." And he was like, "It's one of two ways. Either one, your superiors really like you and they think you'd be a great fit for this, so they chose you. Or two, your superiors really don't like you, so they chose you to get you out of their hair."
Man, like no in between. Like, let's see what he's
No.
got. No, it's just we like you or hate you.
Yeah,
Hopefully
yeah.
they
It's
like
like,
you. Like,
I mean, I hope that it's the former and not the latter.
yeah.
It is pretty interesting though, like
So
dealing
are you
with
in this like for the rest of your life, or can you hand this down to somebody? Like,
no.
no,
I think
you're in this
as
for
long
life.
as as long as I stay in my particular role,
Yeah.
doesn't seem to matter whether I move up. Um, but as long as
So this is for
I'm
work, right?
yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
it's through work.
Okay.
So as long as I stay in the department that I'm in, I will be a part of this. If I were to leave working for the organization that I do or
Yeah.
transition over to another department, they may still say, "Hey, you've already gone through the training. You still have the ability to be,
Okay.
to be chosen to participate in some of these events." Or they might be like, "Okay, you no longer fill the requirement, so we're going to transition you out and bring someone else in for training."
Okay. All right. That doesn't sound too bad. I mean, it kind of seems like it could be exciting. Like, it sounds
Yeah.
like opportunity to travel, maybe, possibly.
I don't think I'll be traveling because it's basically for the county. So
Oh, okay. It's
yeah,
just county. It's just countywide.
yeah. So again, it's like natural disasters, being wildfires, avalanches, anything like that, to highway shutdowns, multi-vehicle accidents. Uh,
So you could
we
get a call at like 4 in the morning, like, "Hey, you got to go out there and assist in this."
there are three tiers.
Okay.
They're
Explain the
the boots
tiers.
on they're boots on the ground, which are the bottom.
Okay. Okay.
Essentially, make it like a triangle. So
Okay.
boots on the ground are at the bottom. That's um, fire department, police,
Okay.
people setting up barriers, putting out fires, all that type of stuff. Then in the middle is where I am.
Okay.
So I work in what they call the EOC, which is the Emergency Operations Center.
Okay.
So, and then at the top are the policymakers. So
Okay.
that's your town manager, your mayor, your stakeholders for wherever it is that you live. So instead of having the policyholders and the boots on the ground directly interact, which apparently has gone historically bad, we act as a buffer sort of in between.
Oh, middle management.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's our jobs to allocate funding, set up if like during COVID, they set up like testing centers, places to get vaccinations, travel routes, things like that. We also worked on getting funding from the state and federal government. All that type of stuff is what the middle people sort of handle. And even within this building, everyone is sort of kept separate. So it's like the policyholders are kept in one room, the communications departments are kept in another room, and then the EOC is like this massive sort of command center in the middle. Like each person has their own computer, and then there are 9 TVs on the wall that make up one giant screen, and then next to it are smaller screens. Then we have a database of every first responder, whether that be law enforcement or EMS. We have all their call signs, all their contact information, all that type of stuff. And then we have a phone that's hardwired to FEMA. Then we have another phone that's hardwired to State Patrol and NOAA. So it's
What was FEMA again? Like, has
so
that been
that's like
around a long time?
yeah, FEMA's been around for a while. At least I want to say
That sounds like a dumb question I just asked. Like something that's been
no.
around for a minute. It's like you know, has Mount Rushmore been around? Yeah, it has. Like,
Yeah, it's
like
well, it's one of those things. It's kind of ubiquitous where it's like because most people have heard the acronym over the course of their life. It's
yeah, I've heard
something
the
that
I
yeah.
thought it was like an animal rights thing. To be honest with you,
Oh, that's PETA.
yeah, PETA. Like I know
Yeah,
about PETA. It's
yeah,
just like FEMA. I was like, yeah, they sound connected. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
as far as I took it.
Yeah, PETA, FEMA, 4 letters. They
Yeah,
do something,
yeah.
but it's like the Federal Emergency Management Agency is what
Okay,
FEMA stands for.
okay.
So natural disasters, usually like wildfires, tornadoes, hurricanes, tsunamis, whatever. Whenever things are destroyed, FEMA doles out federal guidance and federal funding.
Oh, okay, okay. I got what you're saying now. All
Yeah.
right, so.
Yeah, so that's what FEMA does.
Uh,
So we are the intermediaries between local level and FEMA. So
okay.
it's middle management with a fancy title.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody
Yeah,
loves a fancy title.
that's what I hear. I don't want a title at all because usually a title is like, "Hey man, you got more responsibilities," and like I don't want that at all.
Like, God, no. Do I get paid
Yeah,
more?
like no, that's
Are
the
there
other thing
more
is like
pizza parties? That's what we're
so
worried about. Are there more pizza parties?
so the interesting thing is like I do not get paid more because it does not directly benefit my position. So this is just something that I can put on my resume to say, "Hey, I'm a part of this organization." But other than that, I get like a special ID. So
Oh,
if there is for some reason, like say I'm on the other side of the county and they reach out to me and they're like, "Hey, we need to activate you. We need you to come into the EOC." And there's a particular road that's shut down. If I show them that ID, they have to reopen that road for me. And usually that entails like uh, a police or first responder escort through there.
that's awesome.
Yeah, but
That would be
again, I have to
take
be
your girl on a
activated.
date. Like, watch this, baby.
Yeah, yeah, it's like, oh man, we're on a first date and there happens to be a fire right now.
Just
Oh
drive
man,
around looking for him. Just drive
yeah.
around looking for him.
You won't believe what I have to do now. Let me. Sorry, I got to do this while you're with me. Sorry, guys, I'm important. You got to reopen this road for me.
Like my hero. You my
They're gonna be like, "Who are you?
This
Turn
badge
around,
says
sir."
who I am. Get out of my way.
Yeah,
That's what that says.
it is pretty cool because like I'm in the same area as like the county's special ops group.
Yeah.
So they're like 2 doors down from me.
I've been up since two. So two doors down.
Yeah, is like the special ops for the county. So it's like these guys are like they're like above the SWAT team basically.
No shit, really?
Yeah, yeah. So when you need like the commandos to be helicoptered in for whatever reason, these are the guys that get sent out.
You should really test on what that badge does. Like, can I get one of those helicopter rides? Like,
So my badge, I was told they were like, this will not get you into the door where they are. Like you could knock on the door, but you can't just go in there. So I was with the head of the EOC. So his key card will get him everywhere in the building, and it's a very inconspicuous building. If you're walking by, you're like, oh, that's cool, but it's a very plain building until you go inside and you're like, holy shit, I had no idea this was in here.
like y'all got helicopters and planes, and but that's pretty cool though. Like, just to have that kind of responsibility, man. Like, and give back to the community. I'd say that'd be where my thought process goes with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, it's one of those things where being a part of something like that is super cool, but it's like I also hope that it never comes to the point where I have to be activated,
Yeah,
because that means like there's something happening that's bad enough where they're like, hey, we need this guy to come in.
yeah,
And I'm sorry,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want that pressure on me because I'm like, I'm not like in the group that I'm in right now, I'm the only one who doesn't have a badge and a gun.
Are you gonna get one?
I mean, no, I have no desire. Like my badge will be the badge that I get through them,
Yeah.
but I have no intent on ever becoming a cop.
Oh, I mean, now, like, do you have to have a badge and a gun? Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought,
Yeah, it's all like there's like two detectives. Um,
that's where I would want to go to be a detective. Yeah,
yeah, I
I think
mean,
that'd be pretty cool.
yeah,
Solving things.
I guess it depends because like up here, I guess if they don't really have much to do, they still got to go out and be like a beat cop until something
Yeah,
that requires them to be a detective comes up.
yeah.
What about
Well,
you? How was your birthday? Happy belated birthday, by the way.
oh, thank you. It was
Yeah.
good. It's a 37, so it's kind of like right in the range of like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
happy to be here, but I gotta go to work.
Uh,
Um,
yeah.
but it was still a good day, man. I did a nice birthday stream, and then just kind of it was a big year of learning a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
perspective, and just happy to be here. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I get that. It's like it's been a lot of learning this year and a lot of, you know, take,
reflection and self-realization.
dude, that's took the words right out of my mouth. That's
Yeah.
that's everything that I've been focusing on recently is like it's like the same words kind of keep popping up, which is like, making an active effort to not only better myself, but to be a better version of myself.
Yeah.
And it's almost like when you try to better yourself, sometimes it makes people upset, but even more so, it's almost like the universe is like, "Hey, so you want to better yourself, huh? You don't want to be who you were before?
We gonna test this
Oh
one.
yeah, oh yeah, we
We
got you,
gonna
dog.
test you.
Hey,
Yep.
don't even worry about it, Chief. We got a bunch of stuff set up for you."
Like, you get one through one thing, it's like, man, just another one pops
Yeah.
up.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Yeah. It's like that proverbial dick punch where every time you're getting up, someone else is like, couldn't help but notice you didn't
yeah.
have your hands in the way. Mm.
it's like, enough, your life, enough, enough, enough.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like you're gonna tap out or you're gonna get back up, and it's like, bro, this isn't what I signed up for. I'm just trying to exercise. It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna exercise.
you're gonna exercise with a lot of fucking problems later too.
Yeah.
Like,
You can finish exercising after you cough up this blood.
Yeah, dude. Man, like, okay, so speaking of exercise, like, I've been hitting the gym since about a year now, and
Mm.
now my hips are really starting to hurt. And it's like, isn't working out supposed to like not do that? Like,
Mm.
no. Now we got to go to the doctor and see what they say, and then we got to go to a chiropractor. Maybe they snap me back into place. Maybe it gets worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, man, that
Yeah.
fucking universe, dude.
Yeah.
They could,
I
like,
was going. Hmm?
I will go back to eating pizza every night and playing video games for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's like don't try me. I will.
I'll
I
test you, universe.
Yeah, I will self destruct and become everybody's problem. Like you have no idea. I've been
You
looking.
know,
Yeah, I've been looking for a reason to max out all my credit cards, and you
it,
know,
it just disappear. Like,
yeah, it's been crazy,
do
but
you
yeah,
know, like going to Hawaii and just kind of like making a makeshift shack and working in a resort sounds better sometimes than going through the test of the universe.
yeah,
I'll straight tell you that right now.
that's what I hear. I've never been to Hawaii, surprisingly.
I haven't either, but I'll make it. I'll give it a shot. Like,
Yeah, I've always been told that I should go because they're like, oh,
yeah,
you look Hawaiian. They're like, you would do really well over there. But I feel like it would blow up in my face. Like someone would ask me a question in like a local dialect, and I'd be like, I love spam.
exactly what you just said. Exactly. Yep, I
Yeah,
gotcha. Like, let me get this translation app out real quick.
yeah, but it's like, oh fuck, I don't even almost know where to start with the translation because it's like if it's a local dialect, it's like, is this recognized enough that there is a translator for it? But
You know, if someone ever asked me in a local dialect, they just give me a shoulder shrug.
yeah,
Me hablo es James or
yeah,
me hablo James,
just put the
and
hands
hope
up
it's
and be
right.
like,
And hope it's right.
yeah. It's like,
But
it's like, sir, you're in Korea. We don't speak Spanish here.
me hablo es James.
It's like, but you understood the Spanish to tell me that you don't speak.
Hey, what's wrong with you? Like, why
Uh,
are you speaking Korean?
yeah, right. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. Don't be lying to me.
Mm-hmm.
These damn headphones, man, keep popping out. But yeah, dude, 37's been 2025's just been fun in general. Got a new tattoo.
Hell yeah! Is that the Majin Buu symbol?
It sure is.
Yeah. I was gonna
It
ask you if
sure
that's what it
is.
was.
Yeah, buddy. I got it because, like, I don't know. I see these like hype videos of Vegeta on TikTok, and it makes me like, I really got to get my shit together, and quit being a bitch. So I was like, you know what? Let's get it tattooed on me so I can, like, you get that. Quit being a bitch, James. Quit being a bitch.
Yeah,
So
I got a few of those. So it's got some sunscreen on it right now, but I have a Doroma right here.
okay,
So he has one eye,
okay,
and Doromas, they're it's usually like um, certain sects of Buddhists believe it, but it's more like Jainist monks. Also, certain sects of them believe it.
okay,
But in Japanese culture, a Doroma is a sign of perseverance,
okay.
and they always have one eye. And then
Uh,
once you set a goal and you reach that goal, they get their other eye. Yeah.
so you're gonna get the other eye tattooed on you at some point?
At some point, hopefully. If not, I'll just be a failure. Um,
You just keep work. Hey,
yeah, and then I
just keep working.
need to finish my snake that's up here.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's cool looking. How is it under the arm right there?
It
Like,
sucks.
it sucks.
Whole thing sucks. Yeah.
Ah,
Well,
dude.
it's so I have all of this.
Wow.
Yeah, it goes from about here,
Yeah.
all the way down. I need to do the inside, so I need to finish
Yeah.
this part and finish the color on my snake. But the snake starts here, wraps all the way around my arm,
Okay.
and it starts. You can kind of see the head right there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
the head, there's the mouth, and there's the tongue.
Okay.
But yeah, my wrist sucked. Here really sucked, and then the inside of my ditch right here all sucked, and then the side of my neck, like when he got to like up
Right
here,
there.
yeah, yeah, you feel
Dude,
it, and then
yeah.
my kneecap
You got your
sucked.
kneecap done?
I have my right kneecap done. I have both of my calves done. I have my shins done. I started on my back, and then I have this big one, and then I have a smaller one on the front side.
Okay. How was? See, she got the wrist a little bit today. Well, a lot of it today, but like, she hit the bony part right over here.
Yeah, yeah,
And man,
that
dude,
little knob.
yeah, I was like, "Ugh." She's like,
Yep.
don't be a bitch. I'm like, you're sticking a needle into a bone.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good, but
No,
and like it's it's crazy because you try to find ways to distract yourself.
I was talking the whole time. Well, the tattoo artist I went to today, we went to high school together,
Okay.
and and I'll be honest, like she sent me a friend request on Facebook. I'm like, Roger Bacon High School, Roger Bacon High School. If I, if they see this, hi Roger Bacon. Um, and I was like, okay, we weren't. I can't remember exactly who she is, but so like she even had like pictures of like me when I was 17,
Jesus.
and I look like a huge stoner. And everybody on 420, everybody's like, dude, it's your favorite day. And I'm like, I don't smoke weed. Like, I don't, but I'll give it to him. I look like a huge stoner,
Yeah.
like dreary eyes and just kind of, ooh. But, so saw a picture of her and I was like, I remember her. And she kind of looked like, I was like, is that you? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh shit, my bad. Like, but we were sitting there catching up for like a good hour and a half, and it was just of all the things that like what happened at that school and who we were hanging out with and whatnot, and it was really cool to catch up and really cool to see the scrapbook of people, you know, like to go back in time, like it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's super cool. I don't speak to any. Actually, no. I speak to one person from back then, and it's very infrequent.
Yeah,
Like we go years without talking. It's like we were neighbors and we went to high school together, and then we like kind of had a thing. And then when I left to go to college, she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna move to where you live, and then we can like live together." And I was like,
yeah,
"Okay, cool." And then she didn't, and then she ended up getting married and um, has kids and shit now. So like, I'm happy for her, but like
yeah,
a part of me was like, "What would it have been like if we would have actually like followed through?"
yeah.
But you know, like those thoughts are the
Have you
ones.
do you like keep up with people in your high school, like on Facebook or
Fuck
anything
no.
like that? Because like a lot of people in that high school that I went to, they're all married to each other. And they all have kids. Like, there's a whole city. Even then, there's a whole world around you. There's 8 billion people. Like, did y'all just settle like the people in Kansas? Like,
A lot of people do that, man. It's
yeah,
like, so the first high school that I went to, I think there were like 17,000 students at this school. Maybe could have been more.
yeah,
And then the second high school that I went to had about the same amount. Like our graduating class, I want to say was like 3 or 4 thousand.
yeah,
So no, like I mean, it's one of those things where like I used to be really big on doing that of like looking up these people, having them on social media.
yeah,
And ironically enough, I was just talking to someone about this the other day where I stopped doing that not because I have anything against these people, but it's also like for my thought process now is if we haven't spoken in this long and
gotta go.
it's not even that they have to go. It's
Yeah,
like I'm holding on to the past
yeah,
because I want to keep this nostalgia alive. I want to keep this feeling of when this person mattered to me or I mattered to another person. And it's like, there's a famous saying that the day you stop learning is the day that you die.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, like
True.
I never want to stop learning. I never want to stop growing. So
Mm-hmm.
even if I reconnect with someone from those days, the likelihood that I'm still the person that they remember should not exist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if I'm working on myself the way that I say that I want to, and I'm doing these things to better myself, there might be certain jokes that we may still have. But in all honesty, like I'm not that person. Hopefully you're not that person anymore. We've
Mm-hmm.
grown as people, and it might be cool to catch up and like, what have you been doing with your life? But after that, what the fuck do we have to talk about?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That we were definitely talking. The tattooed artist and I. Her name was Mo. And hey, you know, sweet girl. She's a sweet, funny girl. She was telling me about her life, and she went into the military for 8 years, and now she's a tattoo artist, and it was really cool to see the transition, and it was really cool to see like a tattoo artist. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
from the like you could if let's just say you went into the military 8 years, 16 years, you're out and retired with a good pension. But like she's a tattoo artist now, and that's really cool. Like she really loved to draw and took it into a passion. So I mean, and her shop was really cool too. It was this
Is it her
little
shop
building in
or?
Dayton. No, she works there. I think
Okay.
she's at a year out of her apprentice, but like she does a lot of really cool like the tattoo she gave me was like that's she knocked that out in 45 minutes. So and it's fucking I do not like needles anymore. I do not like them.
I think I think my longest session was this one. So
Yeah.
it's a woman looking into a mirror.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
How long was that? How long did that take you?
This was 5.5 hours, and I went to sleep.
God, you went to sleep. Well, ugh.
Yeah,
How'd you
I
do that?
was
How'd you go to sleep?
I was laying on my back, and I had my arm like this. And my artist was working on it, and then I was just laying on my back, and I had my headphones in, and I was like, well,
I'm out.
yeah. So I passed out, and he woke me up like one or two times because like my arm would go limp and start to fall. But outside of that, he
Yeah.
was like, "Bro, he's like, you slept through it all. You're done."
That's awesome. That's straight awesome. Like,
Not all of them are that easy, unfortunately. Like,
no.
like my shins were getting my shins done wasn't the best, but getting my calves done was atrocious. Oh my god! I think
Calves,
if I
like the
were,
back of your legs?
yeah.
Okay.
So my
Is it
right
because all that
leg.
muscle meat right there?
Sort of. There's so most spots you at least have bone with something on top to kind of absorb it, but back
Yeah.
there it's all muscle, so you don't even have that little bit of a reprieve.
Yeah.
So my right leg, I have a crow sitting on an upside down scythe.
Okay.
So, and then behind the crow's head is a sun. So the sun has like little rays coming off of it. So it goes up into the ditch of my knee. So like where your knee folds, it goes
Yeah.
up. It goes up into there. And I don't know if you've ever touched that spot. It's a very tender spot. So
Like right up in the crease here on your
yeah,
leg?
yeah. So like
Yeah.
bottom of your calf or bottom of your thigh, top of your calf, that whole area. So
Yeah.
I have like a big crow's head with a sun there, and then the body of the crow takes up my calf,
Yeah.
and then the scythe is upside down. So the blade goes all the way around to the outside of my calf, and then all that is colored.
Okay.
So it goes pretty much from the ditch of my knee to the top of my Achilles tendon.
Ooh. How was the
Yeah,
Achilles tendon?
fucking
Yeah. Okay.
terrible. Fucking
Ugh.
terrible, man.
Ugh.
But I don't know. It's tattooing has come a long way. Like they have like the numbing cream and all that type of stuff you can put on
Yeah.
there.
I wish she would have used that on me. She didn't.
I don't believe in that shit.
Have you tried it though?
Yeah, I put it on one, and truthfully, it felt like I was robbing myself of the experience. Because just like bettering myself,
Okay.
if I know things are going to suck while I'm bettering myself, once they
Okay.
stop sucking, I appreciate the effort that much more. So for me,
Okay.
if I'm getting tattooed, I know it's going to suck, beginning to end. So it makes me appreciate the art that much more. Where I'm like,
Okay.
okay, this sucked, but I sat through it. I made it through. I took the pain, I internalized it, I dealt with it. This is my reward. Is this piece of artwork that I get to have on me? Like there are
Okay.
shops for like the super wealthy or people who are just very cavalier with their funds where they knock you out. Like they
Really?
yeah, they knock you out and they tattoo you while you're unconscious.
I'm
And
not saying that's a bad thing.
no, it's
Turn that nitrous up to fun.
see, it's like it's if it works for you, it works for you. But
Yeah.
you kind of know where you're like, nah,
Dude, what if you like wake up with a giant just dick on your chest? You wanted like
dude,
a beer bottle.
that's
Like,
what I'm saying. Like, what if you piss off one of the artists right before they knock you out, and they're like, you know what,
dick
you
on his forehead.
yeah, you're
Give it to him.
getting like I've known artists who have done that. Like I've known a lot of tattoo artists over, you know, fucking past 15 years or so. And some of them will be like, yeah, like I'll put a little dick somewhere in a tattoo if I don't like the person, or they'll purposely mess up certain details.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see, this is why I always tip my artists and I'm always nice to them because you have this shit forever.
Yep.
Either they fuck it up and you're stuck with a fucked up tattoo, or they fuck it up and then you have to go through more pain to get it covered up or fixed. So you
Yep.
know what? Nah, we're gonna
Yep.
do it right the first time. I'm gonna be
Yep.
nice when I show up for my tattoo appointments. I show up early. I ask them, "Hey, what do you want to eat?" If they don't want any food, I bring them a pastry. If it's early in the day, I bring them some coffee. If it's not, I'll go to the gas station. I'll get like some snacks and some drinks. I'm like a fucking convenience store. I'm like, bro, I want you to be comfortable while you're doing this and have fun with it. So if there's any sort of elements that you want to incorporate or take out of it, I'm here for all of it. You're the artist. I'm just the canvas. So have fun
Yeah.
with it.
Yep. That yeah. I even asked her, I was like, you want an energy drink or something? Like just
Yeah.
like yeah, tip your tattoo artist and your waitress because you'll
Yep.
get your food spit on.
Hey, if you're lucky, if they're cute enough, you can spit on my food. I don't care.
Give it that old hock to her then, huh?
Hey, man. So
Like
funny
that's
enough,
really cute spit there, baby.
yeah, yeah. There's no as long as there's no phlegm, I don't care. Like
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Bleh.
if you're
Like,
clearing your throat on my shit, we got a problem. Like,
like go home. You got a cough. Get the fuck
yeah,
out of here. I don't want to
come
get
on,
sick.
man. It's like, is this spit sponsored by Marlboro Reds? Like, fucking hang it up.
Sponsored by the trailer park.
So it's kind of funny because I was I'll I have to do some editing in the video, but I did an episode for I'm starting. It's probably going to be like a one-off podcast, but it's with the other two guys I do comedy with.
Okay.
So we recorded the first episode. It was originally going to be for my podcast, and then partway through, I was like, I cannot put this on my podcast. Everyone is going to be like, this dude is a fucking menace. There's clearly something wrong with him. It went pretty off the rails, but I told the story of how the first girl I ever hooked up with, like, one night stand, no strings attached, was a Buffalo Wild Wing server. And then
Okay.
the first woman who ever asked me to go a lot further than I was comfortable with was also a Buffalo Wild Wing server. And then the
Okay.
first threesome I had was with two Buffalo Wild Wing server. And then later I found out that all four of them were friends and they all worked at the same Buffalo Wild Wings.
This episode is sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Dude, I'm a
How
buff.
how how did you manage this one?
So the first one,
You stud you.
no. In your 20s, a lot of people
Come
want to
on.
experiment, and who am I to say no to a good time?
There you go.
So the first one was a friend of a friend. We met at a pool party, and I should have known she was kind of unwell. So we met at this pool party. We're talking, we're
Like
hanging out.
unwell physically or mentally?
Mostly emotionally, somewhat mentally.
Oh, okay, okay.
So he was introduced, friend of a friend. We're hanging out at this pool party. She introduces us. We're hanging out. We're talking, and then she goes to walk away, and I'm like, "Oh fuck!" Like I blew it. And then she comes back, and she's like, "Hey, I'm going out to my car. Do you want to come with me?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure." So we're
Yeah,
sitting in
I
her
like
car.
cars.
Yeah, we're sitting in the car, we're listening to music, and then she's like, "Hey, do you do coke?" And I was like, "No, I don't do coke." She's like, "Do you care if I do coke?" And I was like, "Your car, your world, man." Like,
Go
so
for it, sweetie. Let me hold your hair.
funny you bring that up.
No.
She's like, "Hey, I don't know you that well. You don't know me that well. Would you mind if I did a little coke off your dick?"
Dude.
I was
No,
like,
you got what?
"Yeah." And then I was like, "Well,
Yes. Yes.
also to give you a bit of context, I've never been super popular with women. Also, on this particular day, I had just finished playing World of Warcraft, and I was debating starting a D&D campaign. So it wasn't like I was like, yeah, like I'm a ladies' man. We just got introduced, and she was like, right place, right time. Can I do some coke off your dick? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, who am I to say no? You don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm like,
Blech.
well, I'm like kind of worried because I'm like, what if I get so nervous that it's just like, sorry, chief, like I'm rolling up inside of you. I don't want to be involved.
Do not stick me in this nightmare.
But like I was a dare kid. Like I signed that document saying I would be against drug use of all kinds. So who am I now to implicate my dick into going against that dare program? What if my dick is like, hey, I'm still a dare kid? No, flaccid. So
Not today, buddy.
so luckily, you know, stands and delivers. And then she was like, wow, that's really great. I live down the street. Do you want to come back to my apartment? I've got more Coke. I was like, I still don't do Coke, but yes. And then, like,
No to the first, yes to the second.
yeah,
Let's
I'm
go.
like, if this is what you do in a car, I can't imagine what we're going to do at your apartment.
There you go.
So we hook up. She drops me back off at the pool party. And then she's like, hey, I got to go to work. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, no problem. See you around. Thanks for the good time. So I'm texting her kind of intermittently because I'm like, hey, clearly we're in love. Like, I don't just go around
Duck.
letting random women do my
That is-
coke off my dick.
That is the first sign of love right there.
Yeah. I'm telling my
Totally.
I'm telling my D&D group about her. Like, I'm like, okay, like if I'm a bard, she could be a rogue, maybe.
A paladin, something.
Yeah, hey, texting her, no response. Texting her, no response. In like 2 weeks, I'm like, fuck, maybe I blew it. So I see
Not literally.
she blew me. So I see my friend who hooked us up, and I'm like, hey, have you heard from or seen so and so. I texted her a few times, haven't heard anything back. Just want to make sure everything's cool. And she was like, "Oh, you haven't heard?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "She's in rehab," and I was like, "Whoa!" She didn't ghost me,
Wow.
boys. She's in rehab,
Yeah.
and a part of me
Uh,
kind of, a part of me kind of thought about it for a second, and I was like, "What if hooking up with me was what pushed her over the edge?" And she was like, "I gotta fucking get clean. No, no more of this."
that's a negative way to think about it, man. You can't
Hey,
do that
man,
to yourself.
you got to think of both
You can't
sides of
do
the
that to
coin.
yourself. You
Both
can't
sides
do
of the
that to
coin.
yourself.
In my head, I'm
Can't.
like, hell yeah. The love of my life is getting clean. She's doing this for me. And then another part of me
That's
was
a
like,
better way to think about it. That's a
another part
better
of
way
me
to
was
think
like,
about it.
what if you're the reason she stops doing coke? Because she had to look your fucking dick in the face and was like, never again. And I don't know whatever happened to her. I heard she was doing well last time I saw her. Ironically enough, on Facebook.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, she might be married or something now. I don't know. And then the second girl, her name was, I've already said it on my podcast. Her name was Brandy, but with a silent E. I'll let you figure out where it fits in that name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was in a bit of a drought. My buddies were like, hey, we got a friend. She's, kind of kooky, but, she's really hot. And I was like, yeah, that's
My favorite.
like, that's, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
And so we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. She was working and like unbelievably attractive. And like you look at a person sometimes and you're kind of like, huh.
She's mentally stable.
Dude, no, I looked at her the second
Gotta be.
She brought me my Shirley Temple. I was like, yeah, no, she is unwell. This is exactly what 19-year-old me needs right now. And we we hung out, and first time ever I said no because I felt uncomfortable with what she wanted me to do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's that. Okay. Far as you need to go with that one.
Well, it's
Hey, sometimes you hit that line and it's like that's a really deep line I don't want to cross.
well, you know, there are certain things I'm cool with, and there are certain things I can be cool with a level of dialogue and conversation attached to it. What she was talking about, I was like, this is going to potentially end with you dead.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I was like, black man in the South accidentally murders an ex cheerleader turned Buffalo Wild Wings server. No, I'm not doing it.
That is yeah, I would have to agree with you on
Yeah.
that. Don't do it.
I
I
saw
mean,
the Green Mile. I saw what they do to black men who murder white women. I'm not getting the electric chair for anybody.
and I do not blame you, good sir.
And so,
Wait, ex cheerleader? So like what teams in Georgia? Atlanta Falcons?
no, this was back in Florida.
Oh, Florida like
She
so it'd be like
was she was a
Buck,
so
the Bucks?
she was a high school and collegiate cheerleader, and then she tore I think like her MCL or something, so she
So
couldn't
she was in
cheer.
she was a college cheerleader.
Yeah, I was also in college at the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
she tore her what?
her MCL. It's so your knee. I
So
want to
she's
say.
just taking that out. She's just taking all the craziness out on the fact that she tore that and just had to go
I think she
get
was.
all that negative energy out.
I think she was unwell long before then. But it's like if you can't do your somersaults and all that stuff and cheer on a field, I feel all that just gets pent up in you, and you got to release it different ways. So we had the
Play
conversation
Pokemon.
that there. I don't think there was a. No, I don't even think she knew what Pokemon were. But either way, we had the conversation about what she wanted me to do, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna accidentally kill a white woman. Also, you can't come to my house because it's easier to leave a crime scene than it is to clean one up where you live.
I love the logic.
And then it's
I come to your place.
yeah. So I passed on that one, and I ended up hooking her up with a buddy of mine. He had no reservations and was like, "Yeah, of course." And then later on, I found out that she would
Made the evening news.
she would secretly record every time she hooked up with a dude.
No.
Yeah, in hopes of using it to blackmail them if they ever like went anywhere in life, which is pretty diabolical.
Dirty bitch.
Hey, I don't knock
That-
anyone's hustle, but it's also like you're playing a dangerous, dangerous game because you're fucking a bunch of losers hoping one of them goes somewhere. But in the meantime, you are gambling your life every single time you sleep with someone because of what she was into. It's like,
Aim higher.
hey, man,
What such low standards she has.
you, you fling enough shit at the wall, something's bound to stick.
Ain't that the truth?
But-
ain't that the truth? But I mean, okay, so she would tape these dudes, record them, in hopes that the town white boy would become a rapper.
I think she recorded it to go back and watch because I think she was bit
Into that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There was a lot of things unwell upstairs.
That is definitely unwell.
Yeah, but either way, I passed on that. My buddy at the time hooked up with her. Then he found out later on that she was recording everyone, including him. Like I said, I think to watch it again, but also I was told that she was doing it in hopes of blackmailing anyone who ever became anything, which
That's wild, dude.
super crazy. And then the first
That's-
threesome I had, these two girls. It was when the university that I was partying at the time won a bowl game. I happened to be at a club that some of the players were at, so these two girls thought that I was on the team. I didn't figure this out until much later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't figure
There
this
you
out
go.
until much later. I always have to preface people by telling them, despite all the crazy stories that I have never once tricked anyone into sleeping with me. Like, I know it's crazy to be like, are you sure? And the answer is yes. I just show up places and people think whatever they think, and I don't find out until much later. So these two girls.
Yeah, you just show up and just say, "Hey, how you doing?" You know.
Oh no,
you
I
let-
didn't even do that. Like,
Oh, okay.
I don't talk to people much when I go out in public, and
Yeah.
especially when I'm at a nightclub because I'm like, there's enough weird dudes hitting on women. I don't want to be in
One of those
that.
guys.
Yeah, I don't want to be one
Yeah.
of those dudes.
Yep.
So I was there with some people that I knew. These girls sought me out, and were trying to dance with me. I don't dance. That's not my thing. I'm more of a stand in the back and look menacing kind of guy.
Just get the rhythm
Oh
going a little
no!
bit.
See, these shoulders, they're not for shimmying. These shoulders stay still. I don't do it. Most of the time, people think like either I'm a bouncer, I'm a secret security guard, or like I'm someone's personal security, which
Okay.
happens every single time I go out. So
Okay.
they're trying to dance with me. I'm not fucking with it. And then they keep dancing with me. And then at one point, one is behind me, one is in front of me, and they're both grinding on me. And then one of the girls, like, stands on her tippy toes, and in my ear, she whispers, "Every single guy in here right now wants to be you." She says, "Look at how all of them are looking at you." And I look around, and the place is packed, and all these dudes are, like, mean-mugging me. And I'm like, oh, man, this is a very powerful feeling. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like pulling up in a Ferrari where everyone's like, "What the fuck does that guy do?" And
Mm-hmm.
then they're like, "Hey, we're gonna get out of here." And I was like, oh, "Okay, cool. Have a good night. Thanks for all the dancing." And they're like, "No, we want you to come with us." And I was like,
Bet.
I
Let me
was
get the keys to my Ferrari.
well.
Let's go.
Funny enough, I was in an open relationship with one of the people that I was there with,
Yeah.
and we were sort of living together. And like, I don't like to go back to other people's houses, but
Yeah.
then I was like, I can't take these two girls back to her place because that would be pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
To be like, hey,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna have a threesome with these two girls. I'm gonna need your room for a bit. So
You said open relationship. I don't know
I,
what you want me to say. I don't know where we
you
stop the
know,
line here.
she had her moments where she was pretty cool about things. I don't think she would have been that accommodating. And I was like, I don't want them to go back to my house because
There's a lot of envelopes waiting out there to be pressed.
hey man, I had my own apartment at the time,
There
but
you go.
I didn't have a bed because I
Oh.
couldn't afford one. So I had like a pallet on the floor. It was like mattress topper and then like 4 blankets stacked up on top of it, and then another
Yeah.
mattress topper and then another 2 blankets. So I was like, I can't take these girls back to my mattress topper in my empty
Yeah.
room. So I ended up going back to their place. We, really have a ball. Next morning, I wake up and they're like, "Oh man, thanks so much for last night." I was like, "Hey, thank you
Thank
all."
you.
You know, this is this was before Uber, but I was like, if there would have been any sort of like drop down menu, 5 stars all the way. Like, highly recommend.
Yeah. Yelp. Yelp.
So they're like, "Oh yeah, so like, are you about to go to practice?" And I was like,
Yep.
Practice for what?" And I'm again, my brain is not putting 2 and 2 together, and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Practice for what?" And they're like, "Oh, haha, like you're so funny." And I was like, "No, I have to go to work." And they're like, "Is that what you call practice?" And I was like, "No, I have a job I have to go to." And they're like, "Don't you have
Uh,
like football practice today?" And I thought they were making like a fat joke, and I was like, "Okay, fuck you guys." Like,
yeah.
no, I don't have football practice today. I have work.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Aren't you on the football team?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Don't you go to this certain school?" And I was like, "I work there. Like, I work in the student union. I thought that's where you all recognize me from." And they were like, "We only slept with you because we thought you were on the football team." And I was like, "Well, thanks."
Yeah. You made one man happy for the night.
Yeah,
So
and I was
appreciate it.
I tried to like play it off because like partially I was embarrassed because like damn, I was like damn, they thought they had got a baller, and that is very clearly not me at that time. But I was like, "Hey, so I work at such and such place in student union. When I get out of class, I'll be here at this certain time. Like, if you guys want extra guac or extra sour cream or like some extra chips." Because I was working at a Mexican restaurant, so I was like, "Come through. I got you with the chips and guac. If you want extra meat in your burrito, I got you with the coupons. Like, I'm hooking it up. I'm so appreciative of what you all did. I got you covered." And they never spoke to me again.
Yeah. Yeah. What?
Uh, so, but
That's good, dude.
three of
That's good.
three of my best
Encountered.
sexual experiences have all revolved around Buffalo Wild Wings. So thank you, B Dubs. If anybody from B Dubs ever sees this, give your staff a raise because if they're sleeping with me, they really need it.
And give this man a set of wings. Come on now.